Estuary news today, a milestone for visitors into the City of Culture and a major cash boost for a Grimsby social enterprise. Plus, I'm joined by Councillor John Briggs, the Deputy Mayor of North Lincolnshire, to discuss the Community Champion Awards. A man has died following a collision on Ferrons Way in Hull. The 79-year-old was struck by a taxi on Sunday evening on the busy city centre street. He died of his injuries in hospital on Monday evening. Hull's museums have received their 1 millionth visitor today. The figure was the target set out by the Hull Culture and Leisure for the whole of 2017, but it's been reached in just 8 months. Unsurprisingly, this year's figures are the highest since records began in 1960. And Season 4 of Hull's Year of City of Culture will be announced tomorrow. It will be unveiled at the stage at the Dock and will give more information on the city hosting the Turner Prize. And we'll find out what other delights will be in store in the city's final season in the Spotlight. Martin Green is the Chief Executive and Director of Hull 2017 and says it's all about keeping the momentum going into the rest of the year and beyond.
Of course, it just feels like you blink and you miss it strangely, but also, you know, there is a lot of work done behind the scenes by an enormous amount of incredibly talented people. I mean, I front the thing, but we have the most extraordinary team who have worked tirelessly through the year, and you can tell that on their faces. But we're very lucky. We get paid to do what we love, and it's gone well as well, which only adds to the joy of it. So again, you know, 4 months ahead of us, we're going to make sure that we end as we started, you know, with great passion and rigour, and also make sure that there is an absolute firm plan ahead going forward so that we can maintain and really enrich what we've started.
A Lincolnshire police officer has been dismissed after she was found to be driving over the legal alcohol limit. Police Constable Rebecca Stevenson was found guilty of discreditable conduct by the chair of the special case hearing today. It amounted to gross misconduct and was dismissed from the force without notice. A Grimsby-based social enterprise has received a major cash boost from the National Lottery. The partnership of CPO and Cllr has been awarded £340,000 in order to fund an early intervention programme aimed at improving the lives of 100 families in the most deprived areas of Grimsby. The partnership's directors are delighted with the National Lottery grant.
We're really pleased that the lottery have looked at our application and found it appropriate to fund. We understand it's one of the largest reaching communities applications that's been funded this year. We're going to work with 30 families a year, and if you look at the stats around this, these families that we're going to be working with, each family can cost up to about £20,000–25,000 per year through statutory services. And this intervention at an early stage can save significant money if they escalate to specific services around children going into care and specialist services around health.
I'm absolutely delighted. Obviously, the award of £340,000 is a result of significant hard work, both by the two partner organisations, but also by the stakeholders who impressed upon the lottery that this was a project that Grimsby very much needed at this time. The warehouse is a community facility on Freeman Street in the heart of the East Marsh. And all of the facilities in these buildings are things that people in the community told us they needed. So we've got a facility downstairs where they can socialise, there's an auditorium and a bar, where they feel that they can come safely with families. It's very different from a traditional East Marsh pub, if you like. On the first floor, because we got some health funding, very much like Cllr did, we've got a gym and a dance studio, which is made very accessible to the community. You know, we can point our fingers, we can have labels, people can make films about the town, people can make programmes which suggest that we're part of a shameless society. That isn't going to solve the problem. The problem will be solved by going into those communities, actually talking to the people who other people point fingers at, finding out what their issues are, what they really want to do, what choices they're making. Are they trying to make good choices but failing? Are they making poor choices because they don't know how to make good choices? Or do they need even more help than that? We're not going to solve the problem by pointing the finger. We're going to solve the problem by actually going in, supporting these people, getting them to engage with us so they will work with us to solve the problem in the long term.
And I'm joined now by Councillor John Briggs, Deputy Mayor of North Lincolnshire, who's here to talk about the Community Champion Awards. Thanks for coming in, John.
It's a pleasure.
Firstly, easy question then. Tell us a little about what the awards are and where's the idea come from.
Well, first of all, can I say how excellent it is for me to be asked to come here today?
Of course, you can always say that.
To tell you how we celebrate in North Lincolnshire some very remarkable people. We're in our 6th year now of what we call the Community Champion Awards. It's held at the Baths Hall. It's on the 23rd of November. And what the situation is, it's about those people who are unsung heroes that realistically carry on doing things without getting a mention anywhere. And when you think what happens and what we're all used to in the challenges that there are in the world today, where there are some very negative stories, it's really good to hear some very positive things. So what we did as North Lincolnshire Council was to decide that we ought to find a way of recognising this excellent work for these people. And what we have is 23 categories of that is divided into 4 particular
That sounds like
subjects.
one heck of a night.
Oh no, it is, and we have a great host who looks after us in terms of it's Blair Jacobs, who comes on and announces everybody for us. But really, it's about the people within North Lincolnshire and outside the borders that actually could say, I know somebody who ought to be nominated for something. They've carried out their lives, they've done something for their community, or they've actually inspired others, or they've achieved something, or there's something that they really ought to be recognised. So what we've done, and to be honest with you, we've got an excellent team that works within North Lincolnshire that actually puts this thing together and gets all the invitations out, all the nomination forms and all the background work, and without them it couldn't happen. But certainly it couldn't happen without our sponsors as well, which are the local businesses that actually also recognise everything we're doing. And I think that's what's really inspirational about this sort of evening and this sort of event. And to be honest with you, it's so important that we do this, not as just as a local authority, but as a county as well, but also for the people themselves. And as I've said, there are people that are actually carrying out their normal lifestyle. There might actually be a situation where there's a youngster who is actually going to school there and then coming home and looking after the mum or their parent. Nobody knows about it, but we want to know about it. We want people to actually nominate them. Now, they can nominate them online.
I was going to get to this,
Yeah,
of course, go for it.
You're obviously going to ask me that.
Get the important details out there.
It's www.northlinks.gov.uk or 01724 297 270. People, please ask everybody to ring in and actually start nominating people. We've had some in already, but because we're now at the end of the summer, we've got till the end of September. That's when we'll decide, and a whole panel of judges then will decide who are the worthy winners.
And is it in your 6th year now?
We're in our 6th year, and as I said, it's at the Baths Hall, which is a tremendous venue for us in North Lincolnshire, and it's just for people within North Lincolnshire or are based within North Lincolnshire. So, for example, if you worked in North Lincolnshire, even though you didn't live there, you could still be nominated. I can't tell you who's been nominated at this stage.
Not yet,
of course. But we hope, and year on year, we've been having well in excess of 100 people nominated each time, and it makes a tremendous evening for everybody.
When did the nominations close,
It
John?
closes 30th September.
Okay.
So there's plenty of time to get it in. But what I would say to people who want to nominate, the neighbour, a friend, a colleague, or whoever it is, don't wait until the end of September.
That's what we all do. It's human nature.
Exactly, but do it now while you remember. Make a note of it. Please do it. It's really important that you do.
And the night itself is in November. Is it 23rd?
23rd of November at the Baths Hall, and those that are nominated will come along and we'll give them a meal and also a presentation. And there's a super award for those that are winners. But really, everyone's a winner that gets nominated.
I'm sure we'll follow this as well as the story goes on up until November.
I hope so, and I hope you keep in touch with us.
Thank you very much.
But thanks for the opportunity.
And thanks for coming in, John.
Okay,
cheers. Thank you
pleasure.
very much. Now here's Jack with all the latest sports news.
Hull City have confirmed the signing of Burton Albion midfielder Jackson Irvine today. The Australian international midfielder has penned a 3-year contract at the KCOM Stadium. He scored and then was sent off for his former club when he came up against the Tigers earlier this season. The move comes following Wolves striker Nua Dicko joining yesterday. He signed a 2-year deal. They're expected to make 2 more additions before tomorrow's 11 p.m. transfer deadline. Leicester City's Ahmed Musa is hotly tipped to be one of them. Grimsby Town suffered defeat on penalties in the EFL Trophy last night. The game finished 1-1 after normal time, but the Mariners lost on penalties. Harry Cardwell scored Town's normal time goal, but 3 misses in a row in the shootout meant defeat. Town still receive a point and Doncaster 2 in the new scoring system employed in the competition this year. Elsewhere, Scunthorpe beat Sunderland under-21s 3-1. Kevin Van Veen, Dwayne Holmes and Josh Morris scored the goals. And finally, some rugby news. Lee Radford is named a largely unchanged 19 for Hull FC's game against Leeds Rhinos tomorrow night. Mark Minicello, Liam Watts and Josh Griffin drop out from the Challenge Cup winning squad. Jack Downs, Jansen Tergett and Brad Fash all come in. And that's all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Jack. That's it for this Wednesday evening. As always, if you've got a news story you think we should be covering, please get in touch in one of the usual ways. You can call 01472 315 561, email news@estuary.tv, or look out for us on Facebook or Twitter @EstuaryTV. We look forward to hearing from you. Until tomorrow, good afternoon.